Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into a fascinating bit of scripture.
We are. Numbers chapter 32, the first 15 verses.
Right, and some reflections on it. It's this story about, well, a choice, really, but it touches on consequences, community, big stuff.
Absolutely, and how our decisions play out.
So our mission today is to kind of unpack what's going on there, the history, and what it might, mean for us now.
Let's get into it. The setting is, it's absolutely key here.
Okay.
So think about it. 40 years wandering. Done. The Israelites are literally standing right there on the edge of Canaan, the promised land.
Wow, finally, about to cross the Jordan River.
Exactly. Huge anticipation, the end of one journey, the start of, well, something new and probably difficult.
Massive moment. And then, right at this point, two tribes, Reuben and Gad, they come forward.
They do. With a, let's say, unexpected proposal.
What was it they wanted?
Well, they looked around at the land they were in, east of the Jordan. Places like Jazer, Gilead.
Mm-hmm.
The text even names specific towns. And they noticed, hey, this land, it's actually really good for livestock.
And they had a lot of livestock.
A very great number, the text says. So, practical minds working.
Makes sense on the surface. Need meets opportunity. So what did they actually ask Moses and the leaders?
They were pretty direct. Basically, look, this land the Lord helped us conquer. It's perfect for our animals. Can you just give this land to us? Don't make us cross the Jordan.
So we'll just settle here, thanks. You guys carry on. Opting out of the next big step.
Essentially, yeah. Choosing the good thing right in front of them, the convenient thing for their specific situation.
Instead of pressing on with everyone else into the unknown challenge across the river, how did Moses take that?
Oh, not well. Not well at all. His reaction was immediate and pretty forceful, negative.
He's so upset.
Deeply troubled, yes.
And what was the core issue for him? It wasn't just about dividing up land, was it?
No, not fundamentally. He saw it as them potentially, abandoning their brothers right when the hard work of conquering Canaan was about to begin. He hits them with that question. Shall your brothers go to the war while you sit here?
Oof. That's pointed.
Very. He was worried their choice, prioritizing their own ease, would just deflate everyone else. Discourage the heart of the people is the phrase used.
He saw the potential ripple effect, not just their choice, but how it could impact the whole community's morale.
Exactly. The potential for discouragement was huge in his eyes.
And this is where he connects it back to their history, right? He doesn't just look at the future problem.
Right. He immediately draws this really stark parallel to something that happened 40 years before.
At Kadesh Barnea, the spies incident.
You got it. He reminds them, your fathers did this when they sent scouts into Canaan.
12 spies, 10 came back negative.
10 came back terrified, basically. Said the inhabitants were too strong, the cities too fortified. And that fear spread like wildfire.
Demoralized the entire camp. They refused to go in.
They refused to trust God and take the land he'd promised. Disobedience born from fear.
And the consequence for that failure?
It was severe. God swore that entire generation, the men 20 years and older who came out of Egypt, they wouldn't see the promised land.
Because they hadn't followed him fully?
Precisely. Except for Caleb and Joshua. The text highlights them because they did wholly follow the Lord.
And that's the reason for the 40 years of wandering in the wilderness.
Yes. God made them wander until, as Moses puts it, that whole generation that had done evil was gone. A direct, hard consequence.
So Moses is looking at Reuben and Gad now, hearing their request to stay put.
And he's saying, hold on, this feels dangerously familiar. This sounds just like your ancestors.
Choosing perceived safety or convenience over the collective mission.
Exactly. Repeating that same pattern of maybe not outright rebellion, but a shrinking back from the full demands of following God's plan for everyone.
And he gives them a really stark warning based on that history, doesn't he, in verse 15?
Oh, verse 15 it's the hammer blow, really. It lays out the stakes in the bluntest possible terms.
What does it say again?
For if you turn away from following him, he will again abandon them in the wilderness, and you will destroy all this people.
Wow, you will destroy all this people. That's incredibly heavy.
It is. Think about that weight. He's telling them their choice, their desire to settle comfortably right now could lead to God abandoning the entire nation. Again.
Resulting in total destruction. It takes their seemingly practical request about land and livestock.
And elevates it to an issue of national faithfulness, national survival. Their personal choice had potentially catastrophic consequences for everyone.
It completely demolishes the idea that their decision was just about them.
Absolutely. Moses ties their individual desire directly to the fate of the whole community and their covenant relationship with God. You just can't separate the two in his view.
Okay, so let's try and bridge this intense historical moment. What does it mean for us trying to navigate our own lives, our own choices today?
Well, one huge theme that just jumps out is this tension between, let's call it God's path and my path.
Okay.
Reuben and Gad saw land that looked good to them. It suited their needs, their livestock. It wasn't, inherently evil land or anything.
No, it was good land, practical.
But choosing it, prioritizing it then, meant diverging from the path God had clearly laid out for the whole nation, which involved crossing the Jordan together.
So it wasn't about choosing something obviously bad, maybe, but choosing something convenient for me over the shared, maybe harder calling.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It forces us to ask, are the things that look good to us, maybe comfort, security, what seems like success, convenience, are they actually aligning with where God might be leading, or could they be subtly pulling us off course?
Like Reuben and Gad focusing just on the livestock right now.
Exactly, which leads right into the second big point this story just screams at us.
Which is?
Our choices affect others.
Period.
Moses wasn't just worried about Reuben and Gad. He was worried about the impact on everyone.
Right, the discouragement factor.
Yeah. It shatters that illusion that our personal decisions happen in a bubble. When we choose comfort over calling, let's say, or step back from a shared commitment, because it's easier for us.
It has ripple effects.
Definitely. It can impact our friends, our family, our church community, you name it. Our faithfulness or lack thereof can genuinely inspire people or really discourage them. It puts a kind of weight on our choices, doesn't it?
It really does. And Moses' warning, bringing up that past failure, it also points to something else, like a basic human tendency.
Yeah, I think it highlights how we're all, kind of prone to wander, as the old hymn says. We're susceptible to drifting.
Drifting away from God or the path we know is right.
Right. It's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to be attracted by what feels comfortable or safe or just. Easier right now.
Right.
And that can lead us off track almost without noticing.
So staying on course isn't the default. It takes effort.
It really does. It suggests we need to be, alert. Humble, maybe. Constantly kind of checking our hearts, checking our direction against something solid.
Like scripture or community, as the reflection notes mentioned.
Exactly. Things that keep us grounded and counter that natural tendency to just drift away.
Okay, so if we were to sort of boil this down, what are the main takeaways from this deep dive into Numbers 32 for someone listening today facing their own decisions?
Well, first, I think it's that need to pause. When something looks easy, convenient, or just really good for you right now, pause and ask, is this really aligning with God's broader purposes, or is it just my preference?
That intentional check-in. Okay, what else?
Second, really internalize that your choices matter beyond just you. They impact the people walking alongside you. Your decisions can be a source of strength and encouragement, or they can contribute to discouragement. That's a serious responsibility.
Thinking about the ripple effect. Got it. And the third?
And third, just acknowledging that tendency we all have to drift, to wander towards comfort or away from challenge. Recognizing that weakness isn't failure, but it highlights why staying actively connected to God, to His Word, to a supportive community is so absolutely crucial.
Right. It's not automatic. It requires intentional grounding.
Precisely.
So this deep dive into Numbers 32, it really leaves you thinking, doesn't it? We see how easily a desire for what's practical and comfortable right now can lead people to consider stepping away from a harder shared path.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses' stark warning about the potential consequences for everyone serves as this powerful reminder that our choices aren't made in isolation. They have real weight.
They really do.
It forces that question on us, I think. When you're faced with a choice between what looks good and easy to you right now and what might be the path of faithfulness, maybe the harder path God is calling you to walk with others.
Yeah.
Which way are you actually leaning?
And how might that choice, whatever it is, impact the journey for those around you?
Yeah. Definitely something to think about as you navigate your own crossroads.